I am heading into work right now. I wanted to come on here real quick and make this live in response to one of the questions that we had put up on our community tab. And that was whether or not, as a security guard or officer, are you legally justified to utilize a rear naked choke? Now, I am not an attorney, but I have been following a couple of stories, and even some of the people in the comments had said some things similar to what I'm about to talk about, where they have outlawed the rear naked choke for use in law enforcement. I don't know if this is federally, but there are a lot of states that have done it. If you guys will remember, there's one particular case, the Daniel Penny, that would be the subject that was involved, and Jordan Neely would be the person that ultimately was choked out and deceased. This happened in New York City earlier, I believe in 2023, a situation where you had potentially a homeless person, vagrant, that's on the subway train. He's harassing people. There's different accounts to the story as in terms of what he was doing or what the situation was. But Daniel Penny, former Marine, sitting on the subway train, says, hey, enough is enough, and tries to subdue this person. And ultimately, Jordan Neely dies. Now, from what I just looked up, that case is still working its way through the court system. The last update that I saw was from October, where Daniel Penny, again, this would be the subject who applied the rear naked choke. His attorneys have asked for a dismissal, but as of right now, there's nothing that shows that the judges agreed with that. Looks like everything is still going forward. So this guy is being charged with negligence. He's being charged with manslaughter. So my question to you guys was, in light of the situation where a lot of states have banned this as a legitimate hold, how does that play into security? Now, some states have it listed as lethal force, okay? And if you utilize a rear naked choke on the streets in any situation that's deemed that you weren't justified, they're looking at that as lethal force, and that it's leading to aggravated assault charges. Now, one state in particular, I don't know if this was New York, I can't remember, it's Oregon. Unfortunately, I'm driving and didn't do enough prep this morning before coming on to talk about this, but they've put the rear naked choke into a category where it has a domestic violence multiplier. So I'll try and find the state when I get to the office today and put it in the community tab. But what they have done is said that if you apply a rear naked choke in the presence of a child, get this, if it's done to someone in the presence of a child, that automatically is a multiplier based on domestic violence issues, and it turns that application in and of itself into a felony. So for a security guard, imagine that you're in a situation, you've got a belligerent person, his kids with him, he gets out of control, starts throwing things, gets aggressive, maybe goes hands-on with somebody in the store, and you, in the commission of what you're doing to subdue this person, you get into a hands-on struggle, and you apply this rear naked choke. Now, some people would be like, why would that happen? Guys, if you've ever taken Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and most of our channels were pushing it, that's probably one of the first things we talk about in terms of security guards getting trained to be able to protect themselves, because when you take Brazilian jiu-jitsu right from the very beginning, it's one of the few martial arts that you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes, and right from the very beginning, you're learning techniques that you could utilize right off the bat. I'll never forget when I started going to 10th Planet. One of the instructors within the first week, he was having a conversation with the class, and he was like, the great thing about Brazilian jiu-jitsu is that right off the bat, you're learning techniques that can save your life the second you walk out on the street, right? Now, clearly that's within the general context, right? But to the average everyday tweaker that is not in shape, that doesn't train, that doesn't, put forth that effort, you can take those classes and you can know something right off the bat and be able to better, not fully, but better protect yourself. And one of the first things that's taught in any class, any beginner jiu-jitsu class, is the application of that rear naked choke, right? So this is something that I think that you guys need to look into. You need to be aware of. I don't know what your individual state law is, what the ordinances are, but look into whether or not in your state the application of a rear naked choke, if that is considered aggravated assault, or if that is a lethal, um, looked at as a lethal technique. Because again, like I said, when you're just getting into jujitsu, this is one of the first things that's taught to you, and I think that's a good thing. But from a liability standpoint, from a legal standpoint, it's something that we need to look into, because again, we have so many guards that unfortunately, again, we're talking learning tactics without understanding the dynamics around the implementation of those tactics, right? It's no different than learning, firearms tactics, CQB tactics, all of these great things that everybody wants to learn, the hard skills, but then not looking into the ordinances and the laws that are surrounding the application of those skills in your area. I'd be very, very interested. Once this thing goes live, please, in the comments, just do a Google search in your city, your state, and then let me know yes or no if there's anything on the books that outlaws this for police, because if it's outlawed for police, it's definitely going to be outlawed for security. And then we'll have a further discussion down the road on situations where you can apply that. I'll bring in someone who's way more knowledgeable than I am in this realm, but definitely something to think about, guys. All right, let me see if I can check the comments. I'm driving at the moment. We'll see if there's any comments here, and then we'll get off. 1 second, stand by. Zero comments, you motherfuckers. You don't ever comment on my shit when we're doing live streams. No, it's all good. Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Please do me that favor, okay? Google where you're at. Let me know if there's anything on the books in terms of the application of the rear naked choke. Is it outlawed? Is it illegal? Is it something that has been banned by the police departments in your area? And then what are your thoughts on the potential application if used by security guards? Yay or nay? All right, you guys be great. Take care.